Hi everybody, it's Dr. O'Keefe and Kelly, and we're here today because we're going to show you what it's like to get a brain map. And why would you want a brain map? Well, what we look for when we actually do a brain map, it's part of our neurofeedback program, and what we're looking for is
irregularities in brainwave patterns.
Irregularities in brainwave patterns. And we look at different areas on the brain. And the reason we do that is depending on what kind of imbalances, if you will, and where they're located can cause certain symptoms. For example, you can have anxiety, depression, ADD, ADHD, even some pain patterns like fibromyalgia have all been helped with neurofeedback. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Miss Kelly, I'm going to be the guinea pig, and she's going to talk us through what actually happens with a brain map. So here we go.
So the first thing that we're going to do when we do a brain map is we start with this wonderful EEG cap that we put on your head.
So stylish.
It really is. It's a special look. But then the thing that makes it work well for our system to be able to listen to what the brain waves are producing is to put a water-soluble gel, which we use this flat tip syringe. A lot of people ask me about this. They'll come in and see that and their eyes get really big because they think, oh no, what's the injection? There's no injection. It's just simply, I kind of think of it like icing a cake, to be truthful. We kind of pipe the water-soluble gel into these little holes right here on the cap. There's 13 sites that we will put the gel into. And so when we're done, you have kind of like you put a whole bunch of hair gel in your hair, but it washes out with water. I mean, it's really not any big deal. The only thing you'll feel is the tip going into the hole, and then I move some of the wires around a little bit, and then the gel, I think, people have said mostly that it's just kind of cold, right?
Mm-hmm,
is that kind of what
it's
feels
just
squishy?
Yeah,
squishy and cold.
I'm looking forward to the fantastic hairdo.
Yes, and so it's really no different than that. We just kind of go in and swirl around a little bit and then inject just a little bit of that gel and wait for it to pop out just a little bit. I know I've got everything covered pretty good. So once I get the cap on, I'm going to go over to my screen and look at my software screen and check each of the 13 sites and make sure that everything looks like it's connected well and that we're ready to start our map. When we do the map, we're going to do 2 recordings. The first one is going to be with your eyes closed, and the second one is with your eyes open. The most important thing that we have to do during these 2 recordings is stay still. So sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but for me, if somebody tells me I can't move, I got an itch, I got to wiggle. So, we do have a nice setup here. So if you do have a need to move, I can pause the recording at any time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up and start working on our eyes closed recording session. Okay, so we are all set up for Dr. O'Keefe to do her eyes closed recording. So what I'm going to do is give her some simple instructions, and then we will get started on her eyes closed map. Okay. So Dr. O'Keefe, I'd like you to close your eyes and put your hands in your lap, nice and relaxed. Okay. Your feet flat on the floor. Okay. Very good. And again, you need to close your eyes. Okay, so now that you're sort of relaxed, we're not quite there yet. I'd like you to think about a good place like the beach or someplace relaxing to you, and let all of that tension go right from your head, right out through your feet. And I even want you to relax your jaw so that your teeth don't touch. As I mentioned before, the most important part about the recordings is that you remain as still as possible. So if at any time you need to take a break, just say I need a break and I can pause at any time. Okay? Okay, so we have finished the eyes closed map, and we are going to move on to the eyes open. So Dr. O'Keefe, if you will turn your chair to face our sundial here. Okay. I'm going to just move that over there. Okay. We have you looking at something approximately the size of a baseball. Mm-hmm. So the instructions are pretty much the same, with the exception that you're going to keep looking at the sundial. You can blink normally. Obviously breathe normally, but everything else is the same. I want you to relax, let all of the stress go right out through your feet that are flat on the floor, And if you need a break at any time, just let me know you need a break and I'll be happy to pause it. So this will be 6 minutes and then we'll be done with both maps.
Okay, so that was a pretty simple procedure that took approximately, well, from start to finish, probably about a half an hour. Now all of that information gets loaded into a database and we get probably 25 different reports. So we can take a look and see where the irregularities may or may not be in my brain in this case. So if you are suffering from any kind of symptoms, anxiety, depression, ADHD, things along that line, call our office and we can get you scheduled for a brain map. And as you can see, it's a pretty easy process.